Hello everyone! In this video we're going to draw a sea turtle. Start by drawing a circle as a guide for the front part of the body. To draw the circle, first make two small marks to indicate the circle's length, and then on the sides make two more small marks to indicate the circle's width. Then connect the marks using curved lines to finish the shape of the circle. The circle doesn't have to be perfect, but if you're having trouble drawing it, just trace the outer edge of a coin, a bottle cap, or anything else with a circular edge. On the left side, make a small mark for the back portion of the body. Connect the small mark to the circle using curved lines to finish the guide for the back portion of the body. The guide should be similar to an arc on its side. Pay attention to how wide this guide is in relation to the circle. On the right side, draw a small circle as a guide for the head. Use the 4 marks method to draw this circle too. This circle should be about 1/4 the size of the first circle. Don't place the head circle too close to the body or the neck will be too short. On the right side of the head circle, draw a curved line for the muzzle. Don't make this guide too long, keep the line close to the shape of the head. Draw a sloping line inside the head as a guide to help you place the facial features later on. Connect the head to the body using sloping lines to create the guide for the neck. Under the first circle, near the neck, draw a vertical line for the first part of the flipper. To the right, add a curved line to complete the guide for the flipper. The flipper should be similar to a capital letter D. Under the body, on the left side, draw a sloping line as a guide for the hind flipper. Add a curved line to the left to complete the guide for the hind flipper. And that's it for the guidelines. Now let's start on the final drawing. Inside the head, lightly sketch a small circle for the eye. Place the eye on top of the construction guide and close to the top right edge of the head circle. When you get the size and position of the eye right, darken the shape. Make the sides pointier as you darken the shape for the corners of the eye. Inside the eye, off to the side, draw a tiny circle for a highlight. In the middle of the eye, draw a bigger circle and shade it in for the pupil. Draw a couple of curved lines around the eye for the eyelids. Keep these lines close to the shape of the eye. Draw a sloping line near the bottom of the head for the mouth. Sketch lightly at first and only darken the line when you get the shape right. Darken the right side of the guide to create the front part of the muzzle. Make the front part of the muzzle flat. Darken the guides at the bottom to create the lower jaw. Use the other shapes and lines as guides to draw the rest of the head. Darken the outer edges of the guides to create the shape of the head. Make the shape of the head slightly wider than the initial circle. Curve the bottom line up to create the jaw. Use the shape that's under the body on the right side as a guide to draw the front flipper. Darken the shape to create the flipper. Make the left edge of the flipper wavier than the initial guideline. Curve the left edge of the flipper more than the guideline. Draw a curved horizontal line close to the bottom edge of the body for the lower edge of the top shell. Sketch lightly at first and only darken this line when you get the shape right. On the right side, curve the line over the flipper. Angle the line to create separate sections. On the left side, the line should be directly above the hind flipper. Make the left tip of the shell slightly longer and pointier than the initial guideline. darken the top edges of the guides for the top part of the shell. The top part of the shell should be made up of a long continuous line. Extend the right side of the shell over the neck. Use the lines to the left of the head as guides to draw the neck. Follow the basic path of the guides to create the shape of the neck. Make the neck more curved than the guidelines. Add a few short vertical lines within the shape of the neck for wrinkles. Use the curved shape on the left side as a guide to draw the hind flipper. Darken the guide but make the left edge of the shape wavier. Darken the bottom line for the bottom part of the shell. Don't overlap the flippers as you darken the line. On the left side, draw a short angled line for the visible section of the other hind flipper. Under the head, draw a short curved line for the visible section of the other front flipper. Now erase the initial guidelines. The next few steps are sped up so that the video isn't too long. Don't worry about erasing all of the guidelines, it's okay if you leave some behind. Redraw any of the final lines that you may have accidentally erased. Lightly sketch a line close to the bottom edge of the top shell. Draw a series of small shapes along the path of this line for the sections on the shell. These small shapes should be similar to rectangles. Now draw bigger shapes across the shell for the rest of the sections. The bigger shapes should be similar to pentagons. Draw shorter lines at the top to finish the shell pattern. Draw small shapes and shade them in for the pattern that's on the head and flippers. Use the dark value to shade the shapes. Shade lightly at first and gradually build up to darker values. For light values, push down very lightly on your pencil, then push down harder for darker values. The shapes don't have to be perfect, just draw geometric shapes all over the head and flippers. Inside the head, make the pattern small around the eye and then make the shapes bigger farther away from the eye. Inside the flippers, make the shapes bigger the closer they are to the edges. Drawing this pattern can be time-consuming, so be patient and take breaks. Now shade the rest of your drawing. Use the medium value for the top shell. On the top shell, leave the edges of the sections blank to emphasize the shapes. Use a lighter value to shade the rest of the body. Add a slightly darker value across the body to create some shadows. Shadows will give the figure more dimension and volume. Keep shading until you're happy with the result. And that's it for the sea turtle. Don't forget to pause the video to draw at your own pace. Also, please visit howtodrawanimals.com where every step of this tutorial is broken down into an individual image. That's how, and then the number 2, then drawanimals.com. If you'd like to support my channel, please consider buying my books on Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description below. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe for more videos in the future. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep drawing.